You know, I'm trying my best to help this generation out. I really truly am. But it's getting increasingly more difficult to do it because I'm seeing right now that people just don't care. And I'm making this video because I want to again want to let you see how people think when they come from that world out there to here. Now, I want y'all to chime in on this because I want some understanding, because Pastor Dowell and the people that live here at this community, we're in the world, but we have been disconnected from the way that that world functions for quite some time. And I'm going to need for y'all to help me in understanding so I can get a better understanding of how to deal with a lot of you people who ask and want to come and visit, want to come and see me, want to come to service. I want to get a better perspective and understand with the way that you think. Now, I understand that this may not be the same way across the board, but I don't want to be under any kind of illusion or disillusion or delusion. But I do want to hear from you. I really, truly do. Now, this weekend, I had a man, and I'm not going to mention his name, but I had a man and his family. He contacted me some months ago, and I told him to get in touch with another brother down in Georgia, and he did. Anyway, he came up. They came up for service. Everything is fine. The brother in Georgia told him. The brother in here told him, and I'm sure I told him, brother, breakfast is at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, mind you, I'm giving this family a place to lay their head, a place to stay. You get to come here and eat with us. You don't have to spend no money in the motel room. And then you name of another place that does something like that. And I want to say this. When you come to Straightway, this is not Shoney's. This is not IHOP. This is not Denny's. This is not Hampton Inn or the Holiday Express. Do y'all understand that? We have rules. We have laws. And we have a way that we want you to behave in our house. Just like when I would come to your house, you would never have any problems with me. None whatsoever at all if I am allowed to come. I would not dishonor your home. I would not dishonor your rules, your regulations. I won't do that. Not at all. I don't know what it is, though. There's a major disconnect that's going on today. I mean, dishonor is an epidemic in America nowadays. I don't know what it is. So anyway, the next morning came, 8 o'clock, all right. 8 o'clock basically is an appointment time. You know what I mean? That's what time we eat breakfast. The only one here on the land that should come in sashaying 5 or 10 minutes late is me, i.e. me. And that's it. Because you don't live here. You don't understand how this thing functions, how this thing runs. And I want to make sure that we understand this because we believe in people being very punctual and disciplined. You remember, when you come here, you're not coming to your home. You're coming to be a guest in somebody's house. And the Bible clearly teaches that we should render custom to whom custom is due. But boy, I tell you what, in this generation, we're going to do everything we can to defy it. But anyway, so myself and the brother, we had a breakfast. And of course, I'm looking around. Elder Doug is looking at me and I'm looking at him. And we're wondering where this brother is. Brother Rich had already went over and knocked on the door. No answer. Car's still sitting out front though. Myself and the brother had to get out early in the morning because we had to do some moving. We had to get out early. So right after breakfast, we had to jet, but I left some messages with Elder Doug. I said, give that brother this book and tell him breakfast at 8 o'clock. The sisters asked me, what do you do with the breakfast? What should I do with the breakfast, Pastor? I said, put it up. They didn't show up on time. They don't need to eat. Well, anyway, they had compassion on him because I think it was somewhere along about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. They come in and anyway, they meet Elder Doug. And Elder Doug telling the brother, breakfast at 8 o'clock. Well, you know, we got children. Now, mind you, Elder Doug, both his children, if my memory serves me right, I think that his children are 25 and 23, somewhere along in that range. And my children are I think 25 and 22. If my memory serves me correct. Could be wrong. I don't know. But in other words, you're talking to two men that have already raised children. So Elder Doug says to this brother, let me tell you something. What you should do, if you know that you need to be at a place at 8 o'clock, you should get up an hour early to prepare your house to get to the place. Well, we should be a little bit more tolerant of children and all this other stuff. Now, hey, you've already done, it's a good thing that I was off the land. A very good thing I was off the land. Because I understand many of you people don't like talk like this. You're not used to talk like it, but we are a very disciplined people here. And then I get a report that my wife tell them, the children, stop ripping and running in and out of this door. Stop coming in and out. And they didn't stop, and the parents didn't get on them. I said, I can't believe y'all let them get away with that. Let me tell you people something. If you come the straight way, you better get control of your children. And you better have good control of your children. Because if you don't, Pastor Dowell is going to be in your face, and I'm going to embarrass you. Do you understand? Now, to avoid that embarrassment, you better start disciplining your children. You get your children correct, straight, and right before they come here, because you're going to get the rudest awakening of your life coming here. I would not allow my children to come to your house tearing up stuff, dishonoring and disobeying anyone. I wouldn't do that. My children wouldn't do it anyway. Because my children, they know how to act even at their young age when we were growing up, when we went to somebody else's house. But in this generation, we're making all these excuses for these rebels. And I don't understand it for the life of me, not one bit. But I'll tell you what, if that's the way you function in your house, you keep that at your house. But when you go to somebody else's house, you need to learn how to behave yourself. Because everybody don't function and live the way you do. Your children need to understand that we're going over to somebody else's house. And you're not to behave at this house the way you do at home. You get over there, you set your behind down, and if you want something, you kindly ask, and then they will give it to you. You don't go running around, open up cabinets, open up doors, running off into people's bedrooms and stuff, and doing whatever, hollering and screaming and carrying on where you want, because you are going to get embarrassed, people. You people act like that we here have never raised any children and don't understand children, no children. No, we know very well. That's the reason why we're instructing you. And not only are we instructing you that way, because we have instructed our own children that way ourselves. Do you see the reason why that I'm very reluctant nowadays about allowing people to come here? Because people are literally off the chain today. It is just off the chain. I don't understand this kind of behavior. When I was a little boy, and I'm going back to my childhood years, when I was a little boy, and I'm going to go back 40 years, okay? If I would have behaved the way I hear, and because I wasn't here, because that little boy wouldn't have been ripping and running in and out that door after I told him the first time. When I was a little boy, if I'd have done that, and I was over at somebody else's house, they would have corrected me and instructed me. They would have told my parents. My parents would have beat my rear end. That's how Mom and Dad Dowell dealt. Sure did. That's how Mama Dowell and Dad Dowell dealt. Sure did. And you thought that me and my brothers, we would just sit up there like three little pods and stuff, because we go somewhere and we sit down. They go, oh, them children so obedient. Yeah, because we had already got a counseling session, a verbal counseling session from Father before we went somewhere. And he laid the smack down on us before we got there. And so it was understood very clearly. Now let us dishonor and disrespect him and get out of that realm. Not only were we going to get corrected on the spot then, but then we had death, hell, and Hades to pay once we got home. Because there's an old statement, an old saying, that the old people said, and we were quite familiar with it. They used to tell us, now test me and see if I don't mean business. You're going to find out that fat meat is greasy. And if for you people who out there don't understand what that means, you don't understand what that means, that means that I'm going to put so much heat on your rear, your behind, that it's going to melt the fat off of it. You people, parents, you're not coming. It's pretty clear when you see us in church service, you see how we dress as a people. Honor us because we would honor you. You see how we behave. You do the same thing. I don't think that I'm stretching myself beyond measure. Y'all help me out. Maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe I'm a little what you call old-fashioned. But number one, it's already a dishonor for that man to come to my house and not show up for time for breakfast. And there was no excuse for it whatsoever at all. And then all that didn't even answer the door. You see the reason why that I'm very reluctant about allowing you people to come here? Because you don't know how to behave. You don't know how to act. The reason why the children don't know how to act, because you don't know how to act. Now I want all age groups to chime in on this. Type in a response or even make a video. Make quite a few video responses. And let me know, because, I mean, sometimes I think that I am actually from another world.